Okay, guys, Bitcoin is currently trading near the 165 range and 167 range, showing a mix of consolidation and potential accumulation after facing resistance around the 70 mark. The overall market structure remains bullish if we see in the daily time frame, but in the short time frame, the market remains momentum, short term down momentum hesitation as traders wait for clear direction from macroeconomic data coming out of United States. From a technical perspective, the daily chart highlights a strong order blocks. If we see in the daily time frame, the daily strong order block around the 63, when we mark these order blocks on these zone 63 to 64 range acting as a key demand zone where our repeated interest. If Bitcoin stay above this zone, the probability of a bullish continuation remains high. Another order block are and demand zone of this area where institutional buyers have shown repeated interests, and the probability of bullish continuation remains high. A break below it could open the door for deeper pullback toward the 60 psychological level. So if we see the volume profile shows a high volume node near to 65.50, suggesting this area is major point of control are where buyers and sellers are actively contesting. When price stays near a high volume, it indicates equilibrium, meaning a big breakout could follow one side's gains dominance. So, in the other side, the market is volume profile shows a high node and suggesting this area is a major suggesting this area control and point of control where buyers and sellers are actively contesting. One price stays near a high volume and it indicates equilibrium. So, fundamental point of view, Bitcoin movement is heavily tied to US macroeconomic environment. The Federal Reserve interest rate or US inflation data are key market movers. So the inflation readings having increased expectation that the Fed could begin cutting rates in early 2026, a scenario that typically sport risk assets like Bitcoin and gold. A weaker US daily index DXY also favor BTC as global investor look for inflation resistance. So the next Federal Reserve Policy Committee meeting is scheduled for 28 and October 28 at 29. The Fed is widely expected to cut the Fed fund rates by a quarter percentage point to a range of 3.75 to a 4%. So the Fed officials are cutting weight because they are concerned about the sign of weakness in the labor market and want to lower borrowing costs to encourage hiring. Institutional activity remains strong with US based funds and ETFs adding Bitcoin exposure as part of long term portfolios. However, regulatory uncertainty and market liquidity remains challenges in the short run. So, in short, Bitcoin next move depends on whether bulls can defend 164 order and break 168 resistance. If market break 168 resistance, then bulls can defend the 64 order block. and a breakout above could trigger a new rally towards 162 to 165.75, while a failure may lead to temporarily pullback before the next bullish. So if market close to above this level, then market going to 1118 range, and these are the liquidations on this zone. Here is also liquidation on this zone too. If market close on this area, then market going to upward direction. So these are the scenario of Bitcoin's market also making a bearish flag pattern on this short time frame and descending channel. So these are the area when here is a bearish flag pattern making a bearish flag pattern. So if markets come to this area, then market pull back from here is the liquidation and market waiting for next. These are the short entering and long closing. Here is the long entering on short closing on 50-minute time frame. But if we see in the 4-hour time frame, then we see the market is long entering on this zone, long entries on this zone, and short entering are more like to 15%. But hey, hopefully the market is breakout about to trigger a new rally towards in the upward direction, and we see the failure may lead to temporarily pull back before the next bullish flag pattern. Hopefully this video is good.